Ladies and gentlemen, I have another quick CD pickup video here. This week I went to a music store called Last Vestige. I couldn't really film in there just because it was kind of dark and I had never been there before, so I really didn't know what I was doing. It was small and I didn't want to annoy the guy because I'd like to go back to that store. Anyway, I got a few here that I picked up. So, the first one I picked up, Guns N' Roses, GNR Lies. This is an EP. It was actually their second album after Appetite for Destruction. Now, the cool thing about this was it's actually two in one. Now, this was actually the first Guns N' Roses album I got as a kid. I was probably 11 years old. I got it on cassette. It was actually two sides. Instead of side 1 and 2, it was labeled side G, side R, and I believe the vinyl record was labeled the same way. But the reason is it's actually two albums in one. 1986 and 1988. The 1986 one is actually over here, as you can see, called Live Like a Suicide. It's a live recording. Well, not technically a live recording that I just found out. It's actually a recording with live sounds pumped in. Still kind of neat. It's got covers on here, basically, from 1986. It's pretty good. Now, this is actually, the funny thing is the 1988 side, the R side, or the second part of the CD here. It's only a few songs, but this was the acoustic studio recordings and like the live studio recordings or whatever they were. And actually, it's the side that I listened to the most when I had this on cassette. This has got the iconic song Patience. It's got You're Crazy on it. Now, You're Crazy was also on Appetite for Destruction in a heavier version, but this is more acoustic and raw. There's a song on here, One in a Million. It's kind of inappropriate, racist, and stuff like that, and I hate the fact it's actually a good song. I might listen to it, I might not listen to that one. I really just wanted to pick this up for the memories, and obviously for Patience, Used to Love Her, and You're Crazy are the three that I remember the most anyway. Guns N' Roses, GNR Lies. Glad to have it again, on CD this time. Next, Chicago's hits from 1982 to 1989. Chicago had been around for a long time, and in my opinion, the 1980s Chicago era is the best era of Chicago, with Peter Cetera singing lead, and it's got some of the really iconic love songs and sad songs on here. Look Away is a good one. Oh my goodness, I can't even go through. Will You Still Love Me is good. Love Me Tomorrow. I had heard a lot of these as a kid. My mom actually had these on cassette, and I borrowed the cassette, meaning that it somehow ended up in my collection, and she never saw it again. But this is my favorite era of Chicago. It's always nice if you're up in your feels to listen to some of these sappy songs. And let's face it, Peter Cetera's voice is beautiful. The songs are beautiful. But Chicago hits 1982, 1989. I know there's a larger Chicago collection. It's got some of the earlier stuff as well, which is cool. I love it. But this is still my absolute favorite. So I had to get this. And then this last one. This is interesting. Dennis Leary, No Cure for Cancer. Dennis Leary's comedy album. But know something about this? Doesn't say explicit lyrics or anything like that. It says over here, sanitized for your protection, edited excerpts for radio and in-store play. I had never seen this before. And instead of full, long things on it, full, long tracks of his bits, it's got his one song on it, right, that everyone knows, Asshole. But everything else is cut down in small clips. It's kind of really cool. It is missing a couple things at the end. It's missing the traditional Irish folk song for the downtrodden, I believe it's called, and Voices in My Head. Those are on the actual album itself, which I would like to pick up sometime. But it doesn't have those. It does have his actual clips on here. And down here it says for promotional use only, not for resale. So it's a neat thing to have. I got a couple promotional albums now, and this actually goes right along with those. And I have a comedy collection I'm building up, actually, with this, with a Monty Python album I have, the Henny Youngman one I showed off, and then an album from a local radio morning show, Waking Up with the Wolf. I have one of those. I had a bunch of them. I have one of those as well. So I've got a nice little comedy collection I'm building up in the process. But those are the three pickups for right now. I didn't have a lot of money, didn't want to spend a lot of money, but when I went to that shop, I didn't want to leave empty-handed, and pardon the glare, just the way my lighting is set up here. I I didn't want to leave empty-handed. I did want these. I've wanted this one because I just thought about it the other day, and this I could never ever pass up. And then that was just cool to see. So there's some more CD pickups. Thanks a lot. Have a good one.